Okay, so far so good. Good evening, welcome to a fiendishly evil and haunting episode of Ocast, your island gateway to hell, basically, for tonight anyway. See, I'm fitting them all in. So joining me tonight, my team, I will welcome them back, and tonight you are the Graeme Reaper.
That is excellent.
Thank you very much, Cal.
And also coming back, you're not spared from the punnage. I've got to really think, because it's Rhian-non-a-broom.
Oh, that's amazing!
Do you like that?
That might be the best.
Yeah,
that is excellent.
Because I thought about this, because I was thinking of those Simpsons Halloween specials, how they always had the spooky nicknames. And well, Graeme, that's easy. There's loads. Yeah, what the hell? Gee, that too.
I'm going to get that on a t-shirt. I'm going to get that
broom.
on a t-shirt, Cal.
Yes.
That is brilliant.
Thank you very much. So, it's our second Halloween show, and our tradition is we choose 3 different types of media from 4. It was book, TV show, movie, and video game. We made our choices off screen, and we're here to talk about. And we've all chosen a movie. So the newest person will go first. So that's Graeme then. Your movie of choice for Halloween that you recommend to folk.
My movie of choice for Halloween is a movie that absolutely terrified me when I was a child.
Bambi.
You got me. It is horrific, but that's another one.
You laugh. I was going to say, but actually...
No.
Complex themes.
So to set the scene, roughly 1989, I would have been about 8 years old, and I had already discovered that I quite liked movies that I probably shouldn't like at that age, and all sorts of spooky things. And I saw that for the first time ever, Channel 4 was showing A Nightmare on Elm Street at
nice.
10:30 at night on a Friday night near Halloween. So I dutifully went to my bed like the good child that I was, set a little alarm under my pillow, got up and stuck my little portable TV on, and sat, and for the next hour and a half I was totally transfixed, but absolutely terrified. Everything about it, for the next 6 months roughly, every single squeak, every creak, every fence creaking outside, I was convinced Freddy was coming for me.
Yeah.
But the first one in particular is such a good slasher movie.
Because the simple things it does to represent Freddy in a nightmare. And it's just so subtle. Like, I know the later ones, they become more entertaining than scary, but that first one is genuinely creepy.
Yes.
It's when it uses your own the things that you would normally hear, the usual sounds, the usual fears, and then just layers it. Like, it's just so sinister.
Yeah.
And the one that got me was, there's a shot early on where he's walking down the street and his arms are stretched. Yes. And that just on its own was just so creepy, and the sparks coming off as he's dragging it. And it's just simple things like that do creep you out in that film.
Yeah, it's so good in that way. And at the time, it was probably second only to John Carpenter's Halloween, just for that creep factor.
Oh, what a soundtrack.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yeah,
that's
a great choice.
Yeah, John Carpenter's very intricate compositions, as we all know. He uses a wide variety of notes in his music, but they work. They work well. But yeah, and also that the ending of it doesn't make much sense, and they tacked on that ending because it was just meant to end.
Yes, and then
it says like the ending's like, well, we've got to have sequel beta here.
Yeah, the whole thing really. I mean, Freddy. He's you've got the iconic design with, you see that jumper, you see that colour scheme. Even now, sort of 35 years later, I'm thinking, right, okay, that's Freddy's colours. You've got the glove, which it was just cool in a scary sort of way. Robert Englund he plays the character so well. He just gets it. The way he moves the whole way through it, it's just everything is a masterclass in creep.
I think sometimes you do watch something and you go, I don't want to say you were born to play this because it's terrifying, but equally, I don't know if anyone else could have just done what you did.
Yeah.
And I have to ask, Rhi, as a woman, did the bath scene freak you out even more? Like that hands and the
It's enough. Yeah. I mean, what's funny is that my film choice will probably go into those realms as
Yeah,
well. But I will come to that. But yes, I would definitely say that it just like it kind of just gets into your skin in like kind of a way that feels a little personal. It's like, oh, somebody, you understand me. That's creepy. Like, okay. Like,
and it's just like, and also the iconic the ceiling shot where you just see the face pressing. It's just very simple compared to what. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't mean it got worse. Nightmare. It's a very creative series. The rest of it, and Robert Englund gets to really stretch his acting muscles, and it's very visually creative. But that original one's just got the creep factor that the others don't.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I think that sometimes it's like the kind of tense, like psychological, like kind of like not over. What's the word I'm looking for? Not like sort of over dramatizing everything, not like giving the audience everything to look at all of the time. Is way more effective for me personally when it comes to creeping me out. It's like if I see lots of gore or lots of like, I'm just a bit like, okay. But it's it's great, and I'm sure some people love it. But like, it's that kind of really insidious creeping feeling, and just the little nods to everyday life. That's like, gosh, no, thank you.
Which is like something modern horror film, or what they call horror films now. It's loud noise, you jump. Loud noise, you jump.
Something following you, music drops, you jump. You're like, okay.
And you can kind of predict the jump scares with so many horror films now, because
you know when it's coming.
It's like music, silence, right? Okay, let's count to 5. Here it comes.
Yeah. No, totally. It's light as a slight. This isn't actually the film we're talking about. I hope that's allowed.
Oh yeah, there's tangents are allowed when we're doing our solo shows like this.
I don't know if you guys have seen Sinners. Did you guys watch Sinners?
Rings a bell. Rings a bell.
Watchlist.
Oh no, okay, I actually can't talk about it then, because otherwise you'll I'll ruin a very good bit. But all I'll say is that take I was gonna say is like there's parts in that which I Graham's commitment for all you that can't see, just turn the headphones off. It's okay, I won't give you the spoiler. But it's just like it's one of those where I actually think that film on one or two occasions really caught something to me that I think has been missing from films of this genre for a long time. When you guys have watched it, we should totally do a Sinners one of these, because it was amazing.
All right. Okay.
But I will leave it there.
Because on that, like modern horror films that have scared me, the last one was It Follows. And that was like a bit of a callback to the 80s. You know that it's such a simple, and it plays on teenage fears and anxieties around sex. And it's basically, you have to lose your virginity or you're stalked by a person that no one else can see. And so in the film, you're with these characters and you end up just looking everywhere in crowd. You're looking, is that person meant to, is that no? And it becomes very unnerving, the whole film. You're not too sure who, it's like, again, a simple concept. There's not much gore, but it's just real heart, and the sound, it's a very callback to the 80s, that kind of thing.
I think I would like that then. I'm going to put that on my watch list.
I think in general I probably lean more towards that more kind of psychological level of horror than the gore. Despite, Nightmare on Elm Street is classically gory. We've got gallons of blood. Spoilers. But when Johnny Bed gets
everywhere.
It's satisfied on many levels these days, watching Johnny Depp get eaten, I'll probably say. Right, I think, Rhea, you are chomping at the bit with your one.
Well, to be honest, kind of similar lines in many ways. I was torn. I was torn between my love, which is The Lost Boys, but I'm going to go for Silence of the Lambs, which is kind of similarly that kind of really... You don't see a lot of it on screen, but the bits that you do see, it's like it makes you think about it the whole time. And what I was saying earlier about, like, as a woman, do you find it particularly uncomfortable to watch or like to see?
Yeah.
My partner and I actually watched it like a couple of days ago, and the whole time I was just sat there going, like, I feel like, I don't know if he felt it in the same way that I felt it, but it was like, you understand, or the person who was, they were making it very clear that, like, I felt like Clarice, you were in that room and you were the only woman, and then you were handling like the the body and things like that. And I think it really just put you in the time and the place, and messed with my.
Because the interesting with that is just mostly scenes of dialogue, just really intense dialogue, just really amazingly delivered.
Anthony Hopkins.
Or
should I go?
Me.
I was going to say, what should I say? Like, because that, like it really, like it gets you. It's like it's so out of nowhere, and you find like he's so compelling.
Yeah.
But you're like this, but at the same time, like this guy is completely like he's literally going to eat your face. Like, why are you invested in his storyline? Like, it's I'm just meeting an old friend for dinner, or like whatever. Like, what was he saying? Like, it's like. It's just I've totally butchered that last line, haven't I? That is not what it says.
Having an old friend for dinner.
Having an old friend for dinner. Thank you. I was like butchered, but yes, no. Having an old friend for dinner. But even then, it's like, why am I invested in the fact that like I shouldn't be wanting him to go get that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like you do use this? Like no.
And he's only on screen for something like 18.
Yeah. Really short amount of time, but my God, what he did with those 18 minutes was terrifying.
And it's just how he savors every word and delivery of it. It's just precision to unnerve you.
There's so much of it as well where he's staring straight down the camera, though. So when you're saying that it puts you into that moment of where you feel like you are Clarice, that's the direction. Everything about that is designed to put you in that moment.
That's very true, Graeme. Yeah. No, definitely.
And probably your thoughts on Jodie Foster in that role as well, because it launched her career into the stratosphere, I think, that role.
Mm-hmm. Graeme, do you care to take the floor on this one?
I think in terms of a lead, there was everything there. You got that she was... The doubts that she had as a character came across so well, but at the same time trying to put forward that front where she's not going to be intimidated by Lecter. But who couldn't be intimidated?
I think that's actually nail on the head statement. Like, because this whole time you're kind of going, it's because she's a girl. Like, and there is a lot of that. It's going like, it's because she's a girl. She didn't check the corner when she came out because she's a girl. Or she didn't do the thing in the training because she's like, no. When it whittles down to it, it's literally like, not only is she a badass, and not only is she incredibly good at her job and incredibly competent and very well trained, but like, who could stand up to this guy? Like, literally, no. Yeah, no. I think nail on the head.
I think, got to ask your opinion. Was it Manhunt or Red Dragon that was before, the one with Brian Cox?
Manhunter.
That's I'm trying to remember. So what's your thoughts on Brian Cox's take on it, just to go off?
Myself?
Yeah, because it's your pick.
Not aware. No, I've not seen it.
You're not? All right.
No. So I'm afraid I cannot answer that question. I am sorry.
Because
it was...
Yeah.
But you can't top Hopkins.
No. I mean, obviously, I was just saying this not having seen the other one, but I'm like, that was absolutely chilling to its depth. And not only chilling, it was layered. It was, as you say, in 18 minutes, I felt like this person not only knew me, but I knew them. And it's a thrilling performance.
And then the sequel, Hannibal, wasn't it? That was the sequel many years later that we got, which was, it became funny in the end. I was laughing. There was no threat from the guy. The scene where Ray Liotta's eating his own brain was just twisted comedy then. It just became very camp and silly.
But in a way, I almost don't mind things like, in a sense, it's like they've gone down a totally different road because they know they're not going to be able to remake a cinematic masterpiece. So they've decided to do a little bit of fan service whilst having a laugh. Like, to a degree, I feel like it's like, there's...
Yes.
I saw it in the cinema and I've seen it maybe twice since, but I can't actually remember. Is it Hannibal that ends with him and Clarice going off down a romantic route? Or was that the book, and then they did an edit to the book afterwards?
It's in the book she falls in love with him, isn't it? As I recall. In Hannibal, he kisses her, and she doesn't necessarily resist, but they don't get together as such. But
in the book, she goes off to Florence with him, doesn't she?
Yes, they properly fall in love in the books. She properly falls in love with him.
And then after the movie came out...
I'm learning this for the first time. I picked this as my film. I picked this as my film, and I'm going, what?
And
This
then,
is like, I should have gone with the Lost Boys. Yeah, but this is the thing, is like, I should have gone with the Lost Boys. I know way more about that. But like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think
what?
if you've been watching, her jaw's been hitting the floor more and
Actually,
more
I'm
as
going-
we'd be discussing it.
it's a look of horror.
Yes.
Well, that is true horror achieved
So
tonight,
you've-
gentlemen.
yeah.
True horror achieved.
Yeah, because I'm trying to is a Hannibal the one that ends with him on the plane with the kid that's asking what's that to say, oh, that's something special I made.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, he's got the
Think
wee
so.
box, and like it's still got bits of Ray Liotta's fried brain in it. It's like really, yeah.
I honestly can't say I've seen it since I saw it, which
And I
is
think he does
probably
give a wee
about-
bit to the kids. Here, have some of this. Like the kids, oh, what's your meal you got there?
Right.
When you
Solid.
can still take food onto planes.
Yeah, just a
What
little
did-
bit of brain. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
What did you think of the series?
I've not seen it. This was that a TV series they
Oh,
made
the
of it?
TV with the one with Mads Mikkelsen in it.
Yes.
Yeah. I watched like the first two. How many seasons were there?
Maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I watched the first two of them. I don't think I watched the third, and I can't quite remember why.
Okay.
But I must admit, the scene when, I think it might even been in one of the first couple of episodes, where they come in and they find that body like draped over like all the antlers and
Yep.
all that
first one.
stuff. That made, I was like, okay, that's a bit gross.
Mhm.
I will say, it takes quite a lot. I think it takes quite a lot for me to go, I didn't want to see that, dude. Like, I was literally like, oh my. Yeah,
Yep.
but to me, that was, I'm not going to lie, the amount of tension between those two. Anyone who claims that was not some very layered gay romance was not watching the same TV show as I.
No, I don't think anyone could claim that.
Like, I don't think even the actors did. I swear there was like an awards ceremony or something where he was like flirting with him on stage and he was like, yes. And I was just like, okay. You honestly, Mads, I get it. I love you, I get it. Fantastic. But no, that was there also an episode with the mushrooms? I want to say there was like
Yes, there
like
was.
there was mushrooms growing out. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
weird too. Yeah, there was some good bits in there. I can't remember series 3.
Oh, you need
To
to
do that
Yeah.
after today. I'm gonna go and watch a little episode after tonight.
Yeah.
enjoy.
I don't think you're going to be reading the books after we've spoiled the books for you. You didn't want to
I'm gonna be
totally
outraged.
You've
No,
been,
but
yes.
But since the movie came out, they've reprinted the book with a movie accurate ending.
Yeah. It kind of reflects what happens in the films,
Yeah.
yeah.
Weird.
'Cause-
How come? Like, was it just like audience reaction or
I'm not sure. It
this
just,
reaction?
Yes.
Yeah.
This reaction the whole time.
Yeah.
just I remember
Yeah, 'cause
reading the book
it's-
beforehand, then seeing the movie. Oh,
Yeah.
that's different. Then rereading the book, and the whole romance subplot was gone.
Weird. But also interesting. I wonder if
Yeah.
anyone, when our Halloween episode is released, I wonder if anyone in the comments could provide us with either some clarity or insight as to why that might be.
Yes.
If you're
There you go.
listening, because that would
There
be
you go.
cool to know. That's interesting. I wonder why they did that. As I said, probably because people's faces were like,
Yeah.
Clarice, no! Like, no! Bad Clarice! Very bad! Stop it! Spraying a water bottle.
Down the psychiatrist.
Yeah,
Yes.
bitch.
Okay, I think
Excellent. So,
Right.
Cal, what about yourself?
it is a beloved It's become a cult film, this one. You saw the one I mentioned, Graeme. I don't think did you see what I wrote in the group chat?
No, I
earlier?
didn't. Sorry.
So again, I was a student in Glasgow in 1998, 97, I think this film was in. This is a film nobody actually went to watch. I went to watch the second I saw the trailer. I have to see it, and it was the Odeon on Sucky Hall Street. It's now long gone. Event Horizon.
Can't say it's
Some
ever
people
crossed my
deride
path.
this film, and others shall defend it passionately. Graeme, you've seen it. Where do you stand on this one?
I will defend it. I will
Yes,
absolutely
great.
defend
Thank
it. It's
Can
all
I
the good
take
things.
can I take a brief blurb? What's happening in this? Because I've never seen it. I
Well,
have no idea
it's
of its existence.
interesting. Are you aware of Warhammer by any chance? Because this is a fan theory that went forward.
Warhammer and I have dabbled.
Yes, okay.
Only a little bit. I've dabbled.
Because it's now been speculated this film is a prequel to Warhammer. In a weird way. Well, So it's basically set 2064 or something, and there's a prototype spaceship which is designed for faster than light flight. It activates its drive, it disappears. 10 years later, it appears over Neptune, isn't it, Graeme?
Yes.
And Sam Neill, he's the guy who designed the ship. He's going out with a rescue ship to investigate what happened, and then just spooky shit starts happening on the ship. Basically, the ship, they read the ship is actually alive somehow. And then you find out it basically went to a chaos dimension and came back and brought that. There's that chaos spirit's kind of, it's never explained, but this is what I took. The chaos spirit is attached to the ship. And then there's one thing, Graeme, I don't know, do you think Sam Neill went to that dimension himself originally?
I think this is something
because it's very well speculated, like when he appears on the rescue ship, like you don't see him being debriefed, he just kind of appears on their ship, and then one day is he trying to guide this crew to take the ship back to the other dimension.
Yeah, I think he probably did.
So it's a mixture of alien and shining space. I will say an amazing cast: Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne, Jason Isaacs, Jolie Richardson. All really, and yes, the only one that stands out is what was his name? J.T. Cooper. Is that the name of the actor? Well, it's the Cooper character anyway.
Yeah.
I can't remember who played it, but he feels like he was taken in from a Michael Bay film because he's there to say sassy lines all the time, which make no sense in the context of, like, it's utter horror.
I kind of love and hate the way that we both just understood that. Me not having seen it and Graeme having seen it, and we both just went, I see.
Yes.
When they get to the spaceship, there's accidents happen, and they're stuck on the event horizon trying to get off, and they're all starting to hallucinate badly. They're seeing just quite somewhat. The production design on this film is amazing. It is like so visually rich. Strange because of who the director is, that this film is so beloved. Is he Paul W.S. Anderson or Paul Anderson?
I think it's just Paul Anderson. Is it the Mortal Kombat
Kombat guy?
Yeah.
Resident Evil. He directed all of those wonderful bits of cinema. But this film, like, he'd finished Mortal Kombat and he just wanted to do something serious. And he's a guy, like, I watch interviews, and he comes across the loveliest guy you could have a conversation with. But most of his films are absolute dross to watch. It's that an amazing soundtrack. It's a mixture of Michael Kamen and The Orb. It's this techno dreads. It's like just a really amazing soundtrack.
I'm just going to be making a list off what your guys' recommendations are.
Yeah, right.
I'm just going to say, like, and The Orb, it's like a combination. Very good. Yeah, excellent. Have a lovely time.
Graeme, you can pipe in with some of your opinions on Event Horizon.
No, I was just because I think you have your description of it being sort of Alien meets The Shining is beyond perfect, actually. Just, that is the ultimate description of it for me.
Yeah, and just like I say, a really rich production design. Like, it looks like almost like a Ridley Scott film, this, which is so strange considering who the director is. But, like, it's just very creepy. It did disturb me, I think, maybe because I was in the cinema on my own, because nobody watched this film. It flopped, and it got savaged by the critics really badly. And there it is, like I said, there's debate amongst fans. Is it a masterpiece or is it total trash? I go on the masterpiece side.
I think that simply, when you go far, like, what is it, so far east, you west, like, it's like, when something is so bad, then it is actually gold. Like, let's not deny ourselves a little treat. Like, like, go with it.
Hi, I like all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be the first person the first person to watch a Hallmark straight after a highbrow. Like, I fear not. I watched a film this week called French Lover, okay? And I will say that with my whole chest. So
the female lead moved to France where she opened a small bakery.
No,
but
close.
I had no friends.
Close.
Oh.
No, but actually, to be honest, it wasn't half bad. We watched the trailer, and the trailer was worse than the film, which I was, like, surprised at. But the trailer was way worse. Anyway, not that that was a horror of its own kind, shall we say.
Just to correct myself, it was Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh, it is Paul W.S. Anderson.
There
Really
you
nice
go.
guy. Like when you listen to him, he's a fan of film, and he talks about he did Alien versus Predator as well, which is. And he's like, when I watched the interviews, he was such an appreciation for the original, but he makes films for 14 or 15-year-old boys, basically. That could be a good thing, but
they need films too, I guess.
Very superficial characters. They're kind of just enjoyable. It's like having a Macdonald's, basically, watching a lot of his films. Apart from this, Mortal Kombat as well, which I don't think is as good as people make out, Graeme. Where do you hold that one?
I wasn't a big fan of it. I love the
games.
Loads
of people seem to love his Mortal Kombat.
It just didn't do it for me. There was so much more either way. Either going really, really good or really, really all the way around so bad it's amazing that could have been done with it. And it just kind of landed in the territory for me.
Yeah.
I feel like these things, to survive, they have to be one or the other.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it has to be that kind of cult status of, no, yes, or else if it lies in the middle, it lies forgotten. Nobody needs a meh. Nobody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's that. You've heard the fan theory, Graeme, that this is the prequel to the Warhammer series. It basically sets up the events, doesn't it? When they tear open the rift to the Chaos Dimension. And that's what sets all of Warhammer into motion.
Yeah,
so that's a later fan theory.
Well, then it's a must on my list, gents.
Yes.
I'll get that sorted.
Some trivia for you, Graeme. You know when they finally decode the ship's log and you see all that stuff happening? They actually hired porn actors to do all of that stuff.
Did they?
Yes, and there's a cut of this film which is half an hour longer, which is more of the Hell Dimension shenanigans.
Okay.
But apparently it's in such bad condition they can't ever release it. They found a copy of it in a salt mine in Romania. There you go.
Because
that's
where you keep the cuts of your movie.
Yes.
Yeah, in a salt mine in Romania.
But
surely
it wasn't.
Not, but also sounds so far fetched that it must be true. Like,
yes. And it's been released on 4K as well, so it looks. And I've heard it looks really. They've taken a lot of care. The 4K version, it looks stunning. So I highly recommend this. It's a good one for Halloween when it's late. Just turn the lights off. With a really good sound system, it will give you the chills.
Excellent.
So
consider me sold.
Okay, so was it? Oh, did we all choose a TV as another media?
I think. Did you choose a podcast, Graeme?
I chose a podcast. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
You chose a TV.
I chose TV. Yeah, I chose TV. Did we all choose a book?
I chose a game.
I chose a game. So
okay.
Book or game? In mind if you want to do that.
All right.
Honestly, don't mind. We could all. We'll tell you what. You guys do your games, and then I'll do my book. That's okay.
Graeme, you go your game then.
Okay, my game, it'll be probably reasonably quick, but Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
Nice one. I will put my hand up here. I've not played a Red Dead game yet.
Have you not?
I've not played a single one.
Okay,
really?
You really should. If nothing else, play the second one.
Okay.
It's definitely up there with the kind of top 3 games ever for me.
Okay.
Everything about it, from the art to the story to the acting to everything. But we're not here to talk about the new one that's not so spooky. So Red Dead Redemption was technically the second game in the series, because it was Red Dead Revolver before it. But it's the one that kind of caught on, and you followed John Marston, who's gunslinger, forced to work for the Pinkertons, forced to hunt down his old gang members. But there was a DLC package called Undead Nightmare, which had similar gameplay, but it was set in a zombie type situation in the Old West. So you're mixing elements of Weird West, you're mixing elements of zombie horror, survival horror. It was just so much fun. You had to think a bit more about conserving your ammunition. So although the gameplay was similar, you had a bit more of a challenge, certainly in the harder levels anyway, because trying to come across shotgun rounds was a bit of a nightmare. You had extra mechanics, like there was a blunderbuss that you could collect and use parts of zombies for killing zombies. And it weaves in it's not well, it's obviously not canon, but it weaves in bits of the main story as well, and people that you've met along the way, hinting that they might be behind it. And if you've played the sequel, Red Dead 2, there's a character you meet in that who is a nun who you actually meet in Undead Nightmare working in Mexico. So there's lots of little callbacks, call forwards, everything about it. The main thing for me though is it's just fun.
Okay.
Games should be. Really.
Yes. Well, they can be frustrating because then you want
a little bit too.
Because
my other half's playing Silk Song at the minute, and I don't think I've heard. I've heard nothing but frustration.
Like last year, I finally started getting around to playing Mario games, and yes, they're fun and frustrating at the same time. There's a lot of swearing involved getting through Mario games.
There must always be balance.
So I've not got much to say because I've got no experience of Red Dead whatsoever at all. But it's a Rockstar game, if I'm right. Yeah. So does it have all that kind of the Rockstar hallmarks in it as well?
I mean, it's not got the same sort of soundtrack idea that the likes of a GTA has, but generally, if you've played a Rockstar game, you know what a Rockstar game looks like. You know roughly how it feels. Picture that, but Old West with zombies added to. And at some point, I have actually bought the Deadlands TTRPG. Yeah. And at some point, I would quite like to try running that for tabletops, but it'll take a wee while to prep.
All right, yeah, no problem at all.
All I know about Red Dead Redemption in general is that the voice actor Arthur got quite a lot of stick in the good way for being quite surprised by the fact that a lot of the sort of maybe or otherwise orientated players with him saying "Come here, girl," enjoyed it a lot. That is what I have heard, and I'm not going to lie, it has potentially piqued my interest into wondering whether or not that would be a game for me. But
it's
as
a game
I
for
say,
everyone.
I have not. It's a game for everyone. I actually only started playing games on the PC when Baldur's Gate came out. Okay. So I am incredibly new to that universe, and so I'm working my way through the classics at the minute, and it is on my list. But your recommendation was not, and therefore it now is. So I'll put that on there. Yeah, 100%. As I say, I'm working my way through, and Red Dead 2 is like the next one. I'm on Witcher 3 at the minute.
Yeah.
Working my way through. And Divinity.
Yep.
So I'm... And all kinds of...
Divinity's on my wish list.
Is it?
Yeah. Purely because of Baldur's Gate.
All right.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate was great. Good times.
Yep. Excuse me. My game I kind of mentioned briefly in passing earlier, but it's a very specific version of this Resident Evil, the first one. Mm-hmm. And it was the remaster that was done on the GameCube specifically. I just have such fond memories of playing that. Probably the second scariest game. The other one was the one I mentioned last year. And again, that's something no one's ever played. Eternal Darkness, Graeme. Does that ring a bell? Sanity's Requiem.
It, but I've never played it.
There you go, Rhiannon. Definitely check that. I think you will really enjoy that. That's a game.
Okay.
I'm recapping what I said last year. If anyone hasn't played it, that's a game that actually sets to mess with your head while you're playing it. Because your character loses sanity effects, and then the game actually starts to mess with you and does things where you're not too sure.
That's quite fun.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. Mm-hmm. I like that. That's quite immersive. I enjoy things like that.
Just to go on that, because I remember there was one thing where the screen went blue and it said your GameCube had encountered a fatal error and you had to take it to your... and that was just part of the game, but everyone just stood up and said, what the... But then it's the game doing that to you, so it actually breaks fourth walls to mess with your head up. But anyway, back to Resident Evil. We all know this. We all know and love Resident Evil, I think. Do we? Or do you get a bit of a blank look off your Rhiannon?
This is me. As I say, I'm reasonably new to this world as far as games are concerned. Through one way or another, I have come into contact with many. Let's say that once upon a time, I dated boys who liked games, and so I would sit and watch them. And so I have seen a heck of a lot of video games in my time, but I have not actually played them. So I'd feel a bit disingenuous, kind of necessarily involving on that because it's. You tell me. Tell us.
I was hearing a sigh from you, Graeme. Where are you?
So I have very mixed feelings about Resident Evil because I absolutely love the game. I love the story.
The first one. Are we talking the same one here? Yeah.
Yeah, talking the same one.
Okay.
The mansion. I love the story. I love the puzzles in it. But the controls, or as my child constantly argues with me, it's not the controls, it's the camera. No, it's the controls. I hate them with so much of a passion. Now, I remember it was one of the first ones I played with tank controls back in the day on the PlayStation, and it was doable then, but I will hold my hands up. See, since they switched it to just the sort of 3D controls, the standard controls, it just doesn't play the same, and trying to go back to tank controls. The story, the game itself, amazing. Yeah,
the atmosphere, that mansion, especially the GameCube version, they really amped it up. So, basic story, Rhiannon, is you play, what's the name of their team again? I've forgotten Star or something.
Yeah.
So it starts off, you're chasing a guy and you get into a mansion, there's a zombie there, and then more uncovers. Raccoon City isn't a part of the first one at all, is it?
No,
that's later on.
Pretty much contained.
So this is just, but you find out
with the woman with the really fabulous hat.
That's a later one. That's the most recent
one.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to remember. I'm like placing this in my brain.
But what's her name? Lady Dimitrescu.
Possibly. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to imagine. You know what?
Yeah.
Scratch this. I'm going to look at some artwork whilst we're talking. I'm going to do that.
This was probably the first game I remember playing where you had to do things like watch how much ammo you're using. Mm-hmm. You can't just go blasting You had to think, do I run past this guy? Can I get past them? Do I run back? Do I search for more ammo? But I need to solve this puzzle. You have to, and it does start to get a bit tense and frustrated. And I know what you mean about the controls and the angles, but for me, that made the tension of this game as well. Not great to play, but very tense to play as well.
There's a specific...
carry on.
I was going to say, there's a specific hallway that I'm thinking of, and you come up the stairs and there's a zombie in this hallway, but as you walk into the hallway, the camera angle switches, so what you were doing to go forward now takes you backwards.
It sends you over there,
Yeah, I've sort of been in and out of this hallway so many times, and it's just frustrating. But
I wonder, do you want to ever imagine how many minutes or even hours of your life you've spent doing that?
No.
It's like,
no, I don't.
Would that in itself be scary? Well, I must admit, this is great, because I just, as I say, whilst you guys were talking, I just had a quick scoot over the artwork of Resident Evil 1 just to immerse myself for a hot second. And it's like, I would actually, I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, but like that is giving like pure nostalgia at this point.
Yes,
like how far we have come. Because I can look at the ones that like the most recent stuff again, just having a quick nosy, and you're like, wowee. Like but also as somebody who knows nothing about it, even from just the visuals, to see like a continuation and a very much a by the book. It feels like it's very much honouring its roots in that way. Would you guys agree that it's like, do you think it stayed core to the things that you enjoyed about the first one, or didn't enjoy about the first one? Has it improved on that?
It's definitely improved as it went on. I remember the next was the one on the Wii, and the was that 7 or 6 or something, or 4? I think it was 4 that was on the Wii, and I loved that one. I played that one all the way to the end, but it wasn't scary. It was just, it turned out to more of an action game then.
Yeah,
and they've kind of done this. The fans say, it's too action. We want the puzzles. Oh, it's too difficult. Too many puzzles. Where's the action gone? So they're always swinging back and forth. Capcom with this series.
This is a side note, but did any of you guys play Vampire Night?
No.
On the PS2 back in the day? Right. So this was one where it was the first time it had like guns that you plugged into the PS2. Okay. And this was mind-blowing for me, who was definitely, 1, not supposed to be playing this. 2, I was absolutely way too young to be playing this, and I was definitely playing it without my parental guidance knowing. But I remembered, just seeing these things, and it was like what you'd get at the arcade. You had these guns. It was in the time when the iToys started coming out, so just before Wii and things like that. But yeah, wow, that was fun. I enjoy. God bless. It's giving nostalgia heavy. I'm definitely going to have to give these a go, guys.
But specifically Resident Evil, say get the GameCube version. That GameCube remaster was fun because it expanded, and some of the boss fights are pretty amazing. because you do fight a shark in this one at some point.
Yes.
On
Yes,
land?
You do.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
There's a giant spider. Dogs, the bloody dogs. Oh, I hate those. You just hear the barking and they just run at you and you've got no chance to react.
That first corridor where they jump through the window.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is a proper good jump scare. And it's just classic, like haunted, just creepy mansion, but they do it with those angles. And like you'll be walking around and you just hear them and then you're just like, whoa. And you don't know where it's coming from.
Not like Luigi's Mansion with a giant boo, then, no. I'm like, no. Hey, a classic. That's you know what? There you go. That's my scary game that I'm going to put in next. It's the only one.
Good times. Good reviews about Silent Hill Life as well.
So I've been watching a cosplayer, and forgive me because I don't know the name off the top of my head, who was making one of the outfits from that, and it's really impressive. Gosh, that looks. I must admit that it's interesting because I think as soon as we started talking about the fact we were doing a Halloween episode, I've definitely been getting recommended more, horror related stuff because I was like, "What is this? This looks cool." Yeah, so I'm definitely in the rabbit hole now, guys.
Right, I think that's games covered. There's not much I can say about Resident Evil because I think everyone knows it, apart from
me.
Well, it's so good. We got the one person on the planet, the one geek who doesn't know Resident Evil in our podcast for tonight.
But you know what? What a find. What a find, guys.
Yeah. No, but it's different. I think it's, if you're going to play games, it's like Mario and that, you have to play a Resident Evil at some point.
Yes.
But the first one is tough, and depending which version you get, like the original PlayStation version, like it's like when I went back to play Lara Croft, the original game, it's basically unplayable now. It is it has aged so poorly, a lot of these games. But the remasters of Resident Evil, definitely check them out.
Well, this time next year, you can ask me how it was. There you go.
And then you can go and watch those cinematic masterpieces. That's the Resident Evil series.
Indeed. Stunning.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yep, you can see Olga Kurylenko's stunning acting in those head in the hands.
See, someone who doesn't know has even heard about that. So there you go.
So, our last bit of media, where are we going? It's TV I chose. Was it TV you chose?
I had a book and TV.
Right, and you had a podcast. I think we'll go with you, Graeme, because the podcast's quite unique. So,
it was just to mix it up a wee bit and have something different. So, there was a series, I think it was 2015, 2016, at the peak of Serial and the likes, when podcasting was all the rage. Who would do that now?
Yes, Nutter would do a podcast.
I know. It was called The Black Tapes, and
heard of this.
It was that kind of blurring the lines between reality and fiction type podcast. There's the two main characters at the start. The main journalist, her name's Alex. She's interviewing people with interesting jobs. She is effectively our Mulder for the purposes of this, and she meets a man, Richard Strand, I think his name is, who's our Scully. He is a skeptic, but plot twist, he might actually be psychic. He's also a little bit like James Randi, if you know, in real life, where he's got a collection of VHS tapes of the unexplained, which he's offering rewards for if anyone can prove the existence of the unexplained. So there's always the kind of story of the week for a while, but there's the overarching story as well about this. It pulls in a secret society. They are the Order of Cephas, which is a breakaway order of monks after one sold his soul to Satan to create the Codex Gigas. It brings in things like, sacred geometry, which is like devil maths.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
There's sound components, there's real-world conspiracies. It brings in real composers, a guy called Scriabin, and links a lot of his stuff. So he did a lot of things back in today, pieces called things like Black Mass or The Devil's Song, that sort of thing. And it also pulls in bits from Ring, except there's a sound, and if you hear it, you will be dead within a year. But within there, they play that during the podcast, so that kind of messes with people's minds a wee bit. Then there's an antidote piece of music. It's all very, very silly. But it does that thing where it just creates just enough of an air of creepiness in amongst some dialogue that can be quite bad. So things like she'll describe, for example, oh, there's a piece of music. A piece of music? Yes, a piece of music. Like, which amuses me. But in amongst all that, the first 2 seasons did a really good job of creepiness. Then the 3rd season was going okay. They set up what was looking like a really interesting big bad called the Helvetian. And then it just stopped. What was the mid-season finale ended up being the end of the show. So you've got these 2 really good seasons of audio drama telling what's looking like a compelling story. And then effectively the last episode, the 2 main characters have a Hannibal and Clarice book moment where they decide they're going to go off to a hotel and have a little relationship, and that's where it ends. You're like, where's the story? But before that, the rest of it was fun. Yeah. There's lots of bits in the parts about the music about... Do you know about the Devil's Interval?
No.
So it's... In music theory, there's an interval, Devil's Interval, it's an augmented fourth is the technical name for it, it's a tritone. You will have heard it because you have heard Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath.
All right. Yeah.
You have heard the very start of The Simpsons. Maria from West Side Story, Failures, The Nurse Who Loved Me, Deftones, RX Queen, Audrey's Dance from Twin Peaks, all these things all use this interval. And it's like it's the furthest apart that notes can be. And it sounds really, I've forgotten the word, it's like unharmonic. And that gets used in it as well. And for a while it was appointment listening for me. And then it just stopped and ruined it with its ending.
All right.
But at least, we have an honest explanation of start to finish. I know what I'm in for. It's not going to hurt me. It can't get me, Graeme, because I know it's coming.
Because so I'm going to say, so have you listened to quite a lot of these audio drama podcasts, Graeme? Are you quite into them?
I was for a while. When I was on permanent nights, the job I was doing meant that I had it was a solo practitioner job, which meant I had a lot of time to listen to things and to watch things.
So have you listened to a Scottish podcast?
Is that the name of it?
Yeah, that's the actual name. Sorry, I'm not just saying have you listened to just any Scottish. There's one called a Scottish pod, and it's quite meta because it's a washed-up radio DJ. And to make money, he decides to set up a paranormal podcast. That's the actual story.
Okay.
And it's him going, and he's a drunk, he's an alcoholic, and that plays into it. It's very dark, morbid humor in as well. It is great because that's one thing I love about podcasts is like audio dramas have come back in a good way, and I love a good audio drama.
It's true.
Yeah.
I like.
I've just subscribed to it.
What was that? Yay! You have to tell us how it goes.
Yep. Because and I'll put my hand up right now. I would love to make an audio drama, and I've some of the Ocon guests have mentioned this to me. So yeah, watch this space. Something might happen
never
yet.
know.
If any of you are interested in trying to do this project, I don't know what story it'll take, but an audio drama set in the Hebrides, there's got to be some kind of weird stuff we could come up with there.
I mean, sure we could.
Yeah. So was it book or It was book for you, wasn't it, Rhiannon?
It was, but we to be honest, we don't have to spend too long of it if we'd like to get onto TV. I was simply going to say that Pet Sematary is probably my favourite of the spooky books or the scary books, depending on how you look at it. I would say
Stephen King,
yeah. I would recommend this book on the basis that it's not like difficult to read. I think it's quite readable, it's quite straightforward, the story is linear, which I think in itself lulls you into a sort of false sense of security. It's definitely not a jump scare by any means. I don't think it's a jump scare. I didn't think it was a jump scare. And it handles some, pretty difficult themes, a lot of relating to grief, and a lot of the ideas behind the book and the story, for those who don't know, is what's dead should stay dead. That's the kind of the general gist. The one thing that really set this apart from other novels that I've read, even once by Stephen King, was the fact that I read the book and I went, okay, I finished that book. That wasn't that scary. And then about maybe 10 seconds went past, and then I went, and it took me about that long to realise what I just read and actually the thing that was concerning about the story wasn't any of the things that you thought it was until about 10 seconds after you read the last page. And then you go, no, no! And then it's absolutely hanging and it's awful. And then, yeah. So that, I don't even want to go into it because I'm like, genuinely, if you haven't read Pet Sematary, you've never even glimpsed. I don't think the films really captured it in the same way for me personally, but if you haven't read the book, read the book because it is not very long, very straightforward to read, and afterwards you will be left with a sinking sense of dread that you will resent me for. So I say, read it.
I've got to ask, are you a Stephen King fan by any chance?
I would say a bit. I wouldn't say hardcore, I wouldn't say absolutely wild, but I've read a couple of his books.
The next question, really have you actually read all of it?
No, but I have made a good crack through The Stand.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm most of the way through The Stand. Which my problem is that after I started reading Stephen King, I was like, okay, I'm going to start picking books without reading the blurb. Because I realised a lot of the time I turned myself off stories by reading the blurb and going, not for me. Which isn't always true. And actually, Pet Sematary was one of those. So I was like, that's great, because I didn't read it, I just went for it. And so I decided to read The Stand. But unfortunately, I started reading it basically sort of during COVID, which for all of us that were working during that time, I didn't need to necessarily, at the time, to come home and then read a book that was essentially about a virus breaking out and destroying the world. Wasn't really the vibe I was in. I didn't need that right then. So I did a really big portion of it, must be said. So whilst I haven't made my way all the way through it, I'm nearly there with The Stand, and that's a good old chunk.
Yes. No, I was just curious. I wanted to meet someone who's actually read it, because it's like that is a marathon. That's a mega achievement.
Yeah.
It's a bit off the rails, isn't it, at times?
Just a bit, and there's parts of it that are they're so hard to read, just in terms of the subject matter, amongst nothing else. But I was determined to finish it.
I've heard of several scenes in that which we can't even mention without getting risks of it. But I've heard it's basically the book's that big, and it says that's probably the weight of the book is probably the amount of cocaine he took to get that book done, wasn't it?
Must have been.
Some might say.
Am I right in saying that Pet Sematary is the book that Stephen King himself chose as his scariest?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that he did say that was the one that he was like, nah. And I'm like, fair enough. Because again, it is that so you read it and you go, this isn't scary. This is fine. I was expecting way worse. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah, because
me and Stephen have that in common. There you go.
Because one of my favourite scary films is based on a Stephen King book, and it's one of the few where Stephen King said the film is better than the book. They really improved, and it's one of the most. The Mist. Have you seen this now, Rhiannon?
No.
Watch that, and then get back to me when you see that. Graeme, you've seen it.
I've seen The Mist.
When you see that ending. I want to know how you're feeling. I think we should watch. We should,
do it.
Maybe on Halloween night.
Just
that end. I don't know of anyone who didn't have such an extreme reaction to an ending of a film. I can't tell you where it goes, but it's kind of weird, The Mist, because it's Frank Darabont and it's the anti-Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption is about hope and the best in people, whereas The Mist is just people are just awful. And there's literally a line in the film where a guy says human beings are fundamentally insane. He says, any two of us in a room and we come up with reasons to kill each other. Why do you think we invented religion and politics? That's an actual line in the. And it's
only like the Matrix saying it's a virus or whatever, isn't it? It's like.
Yeah, but the ending of The Mist is just something else. Everyone I've watched it with for the first time had very strong reactions to that ending.
Then I promise you, Cal, if we don't end up all watching it in the same room and you see it live, I'll get my partner to video me watching the ending if he's going to have it.
Oh yes, I'll be so fascinated to see how you react to that. Everyone reacts to that ending extremely badly, basically.
Oh god. As long as I don't pass out, that's my only request.
No, it's something else, that ending. It's just whenever I've watched, some people just sit there utterly horrified in silence at that ending.
This honestly, this episode's been great.
Yeah.
Everything's just like, it's going straight in my basket. I'm having a lovely time prepping my October.
Well, I think
for those of you that don't know, obviously we've recorded this slightly ahead of time, so
Yes.
my October is still to come.
Yeah.
So I can
you can
away.
get ready in time and plan. We want, because I think everyone's going to want to see this reaction video. You watching the Mist now? Yeah. So the last bit of media is my TV show. What more can I say? The Twilight Zone. Is there anything else you can say? Just those two words. I think maybe what might be better is, what's your favourite one? I'll go Rhiannon. Favourite Twilight Zone episode? Classic Twilight Zone we're talking here.
I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a bit of a difficult one. I've not watched it for what I'm trying to think. Like individually, I don't know if I can pick the right time. I feel like. Oh, I thought that was great. Right. Then I thought that I was like, yeah. It's difficult. I mean, I'm trying to just have a quick scooch so I can see. You guys go, and then I'm going to follow in and say, because I'm not as good as episode by episode of this. This is why I do the Buffy stuff.
Yes.
I was like, I know everything about Buffy. But I spent all my time watching Buffy, so I'm not as.
I've got a light doing strange things here, so I'm just going to try and stop it.
Okay, that's no problem.
Oh, I thought you were doing it to be spooky.
I thought you were referencing something there. I thought you were doing a reference there, but no.
No, you take it away, Carl. Go for it.
There's too many. Like
you just in love with the whole thing.
It's like, and it's just something we don't get as anthology series. We don't get enough. They're Black Mirror, but we don't get anything like this. This was just writing and themes. Like for the 1950s, he pushed the barrier so much, Rod Serling, with all the analogies in this. There's the monsters are due on Maple Street is depressingly relevant today.
True.
Is Graeme, are you muted or are you just invisible now?
I'm just invisible while this light's
all right.
It's best to have a seizure.
Do you know this one? The monsters are due on Maple Street.
Is that the one with the? Is it like a power failure or something? Oddly, he says while he's doing strange things.
And it's very heavy allegories for segregation and racism in it.
Yeah.
And he said, and how they turn on each other and these aliens watching them.
They're like mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Like kind of that. Absolutely.
And then what's the other one? Time Enough at Last. Absolute stone. Everyone knows that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one with the guy who loves to read books, and at the end, when his glasses smash. Remember there's a nuclear war? Is this ringing any bells?
Yes. Yeah.
Very
no,
much
it is.
so.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's one that's just kind of transcended the Twilight Zone almost.
Yeah. Because he didn't have time to read.
Yeah.
And now he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all he does say he has all the time, and then his glasses smash, and then he can't read anything. So it's another one a lot of people have an extreme reaction to at the end, but it's again just brilliant. And Burgess Meredith, who went on to play Mickey in the Rocky films, some star there.
There you go.
And Penguin in Batman 66.
Yes, that's right. Graeme, favourite memorable Twilight Zone episode? We'll just go for memorable ones. We don't have to have episode names.
What's the one with the... What do you call it? It's the little boy with powers, and it's the town... Like, you can't find the town or something.
All right.
Am
I right? The Simpsons did this one as well. They did a version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just say it's set in Springfield. But yeah, that one springs to mind.
What was the one where they went back in time? When they were going to changing the assassination of Kennedy, wasn't it?
Is that 1163? The Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah, I don't think that's a Twilight Zone, because Twilight Zone was in the 50s.
Was it? Am I thinking of the wrong thing? I think that's why I'm getting confused.
You might be. Is that more of the modern versions where they've tried to be?
Because I was following it up, and I'm like, I think I've got these two very confused, which is fine.
But there's no what can you say about Twilight Zone that's not been said?
Masks.
It's just
the masks was terrifying.
Yeah.
That was the one where the guy's dying, so it makes people wear the masks in order to get their inheritance. That was just...
And then there's another one I remember where the guy dies and he thinks he's gone to heaven, and it's that line at the end, what makes you think why would God make heaven like this? He's got everything he ever wants in life, but then he's getting sick of everything, and then he realizes he's actually in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just the twists for everything. Just always like some, very ironic, very just dark humor, and like just what Rod Serling did, like especially pushing women's issues and issues of racism in the 50s American TV. He did it so cleverly and put it in.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually warned about, like, when they read some of the scripts and he changed them up but kept the themes in there, and the TV execs were none the wiser. But yeah, he's just an utter genius, Rod Serling, when he came up with it. And do you know that he did want to do the voiceover, but they refused him at first. They said his voice would turn people off. I guess when you listen to it, you can't help but hear that very distinct delivery he has. And then there's another one I remember. I shot an arrow up into the sky, and it's these astronauts that land on a planet, but they've actually landed on it. It's like a bit, you say, oh, that's Planet of the... And that's what I found watching it. It's like, oh, that's this film. Like, they're nearly all borrowed from the Twilight Zone in some capacity.
I think the description you were doing of the episode where the guy dies, I mean, that's spoilers if anyone hasn't seen it, but that's basically the premise of The Good Place.
Mm-hmm.
Or they think they're in heaven, but in actual fact, no, they're not.
I mean, are we in the good place?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Good question. No,
You're
I'm
in the
so
best
sorry
place.
for getting that confused then. I've realised that I think I've got those two things completely messed up in my head, which is my bad. I get what? God, this is a shopping basket for me today. I just get to fill it up with all excellent recommendations, which I can't wait to take.
Have you got any Twilight Zone memories then, apart from the one that wasn't a Twilight Zone memory?
Well, this is the thing. I feel like I've either now. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I have watched these at a time in my life when these have bled into possibly the same memory, which is like slightly. Please tell me other people do this, because sometimes I think that's what's happened, because I'm just having a quick look and I was like, yeah, I think I've got a couple of these conflicted, which
I think
is okay.
Doing a little bit of Googling right now, I think we owe you an apology, because Profiling Silver is the first segment of the 20th episode of the first season of the 1985 revival of the Twilight Zone television series.
All right, so I'm not totally bonkers.
A time traveller interferes in the assassination of JFK and must find a way to repair the resultant damage to the timeline.
Okay, there we go. See? It's like, there is an answer. I was literally sat there going, why have I imagined this?
We were just 30 years too early, Cal.
All right.
It's fine. I feel safe now. Thank you, Graeme. But no, I would have to say that just means, again, yet more fun for me. I'm going to have to sit and go through the 1950s, because obviously there's more out there.
And of course, Graeme, you're a Star Trek man. You know the one we've got to mention.
Yep.
Yeah, Nightmare at 20,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Another
bit of Shatner.
Yeah. I was going to say you can't beat a bit of Shatner as an actor on screen. Again, real life, maybe not so much these days.
Well, yeah, but no, is just so iconic. Just his response when he looks out the window. It's every bit of Shatner that you ever wanted. That doesn't involve him singing.
Does he do that? No.
No.
If he doesn't dramatically fall afterwards, I'm not buying it.
It's a bit difficult. He's on a plane.
No, he'll find a way.
There's not enough space to fall. No, that's Life you're thinking of.
And then there's one that's like really like he's alive. Do you remember this one, Graeme?
Not from the title.
Interesting, because it's one of Dennis Hopper's first ever roles. This.
Okay.
And he plays a neo-Nazi who's haunted by dreams that Adolf Hitler's still alive. And it really gets into deconstructing and attacking fascism, which, imagine in like the day that saying fascism is bad would become a controversial statement. But that's the reality we're in these days, apparently.
Doing my best not to get us kicked off the air by...
Yes. Well,
we shouldn't be, because,
But yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's just too many superlatives every single episode. And the one advantage it has, but you can just dip in and out of this whenever you want. But it's interesting when you watch it, you'll just see, oh, that's that film. I've seen this story before. so influential and broke so many barriers for its time. Like when Rod said he was under so many constraints, but he broke down and put some incredible... When you look at 1950s TV, it was basically, you got to be nice and safe and pleasant for everyone.
Yeah.
Which speaking of which, Pleasantville, there's another film recommendation I can throw in.
There was one that before, and this is actually just jumping backwards slightly. But when we were talking about podcasts and radio things, how did we not mention War of the Worlds?
Oh yeah, well,
how did that not come up? Because that has just occurred to me. I was like, when obviously that was first released, and that fella, there was at least I think several, but there was an instance where I think a man in Germany may have, I don't know what we can say on air, but I think he killed himself and his entire family because he thought it was real, and he thought that aliens were literally descending to Earth, which, talk about something that is like shakes the very foundation of everyone that was hearing it on a radio show, thinking that it was news at the time when it was happening. Like that, I can't even imagine. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of impact that these things can have on people. Like they can be so
if you want
shocking.
A good example of that, Graeme, you'll remember this Ghostwatch.
Pipes.
Very infamously, Pipes. Yeah, and I've rewatched it, and it still works quite well to this day, obviously. But at the time, people were convinced that was real. And if you ever wanted to know what Michael Parkinson would sound like possessed by a demon, this is the show for you, Rhiannon.
There you go.
There you go. I've sold you on that. Yeah.
I was going to say, you just know me so well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's just, at the very end, he becomes possessed by a demon, and his voice changes into a demon voice. So another side of Parkinson we didn't see enough of. No, but again, I remember watching that thinking, because it was Sarah Green and was in it.
Was it Mike Smith?
Yes, who's vanished from all existence, apparently. He was everywhere in the early 90s, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he just disappeared, and then... What's his name? Craig Charles is in it as well.
Yes, of course he is.
He plays a presenter in that. Dave Lister himself. And I just remember watching. Did I just watch Sarah Green get killed live on TV? And then I was just afterwards, because I was this kid, said no. And then I think it was later on in the week they had to explain, because people did panic. They thought it was presented as a real. So Rhiannon, the premise of Ghostwatch was a haunted house somewhere in England, and as a live broadcast, they were going to do a seance to prove whether this ghost was real or not. But a lot of people fell for this and thought it was real, what was happening. And there was this murderer called Pipes, wasn't it? Because as a ghost, he was banging on the heating pipes in the house.
It sounded like, the kind of water hammer sound a lot of the times.
Yeah.
It was like that. So again, circling right back to Nightmare on Elm Street, they're using the mundane to make it scary.
It's just like that kind of stuff that then plays on people, isn't it? It's like the things you're always going to hear, but then it stands out to you that little bit more with a bit more emphasis.
Yeah.
But no, I tell you what, that kind of roughly brings me onto my TV episodes, which I was going to pick Blink from Doctor Who.
Yes.
This was a throw-up. This was a throw-up between Supernatural, the Scarecrow episode in season 1, because man, that dude is scary looking.
Yep.
Dude, it was and you know what? As a standalone episode, sublime. Really enjoyed it.
Yep.
But I will be going with Blink because I still can't really watch that with both eyes open. And the reason it ties to the mundane is because I distinctly remember watching that episode, and then the statue. So my aunts used to live on Lothian Road in Edinburgh, and one of the statues that is at the end of that episode is on Lothian Road, and it's like across the street, and we were all like, no, like it was awful. But yeah, I have to say, still can't. At the grand age of 28, still can't really watch that with both eyes open. It has scarred me for life. Excellent TV.
Yep.
They could be anywhere, and they could appear like right now, the second you close your eyes. Terrifying.
And was it was this Roger Christian who told us about an episode of Doctor Who? And it was just something they threw at the actors. It was meant to be this flesh-eating bug. I can't remember. It was on one of the shows. I think it was Roger Christian might have mentioned that, because he's on about like using simple things to effect. Rings a bell, that. Someone
can't
told us about that. I can't remember who.
I can't remember. I don't know if I don't.
But it
know.
was that's what Doctor Who did so well. Just make you scared of simple things.
Yeah, you know, Daleks learning how to fly. What was that? Like, come on now.
The empty child.
I think with the empty child.
Are you my mummy?
Are you my
mummy?
Like sticking his hand through the letterbox. Oh my god. Yeah, there was. I must admit, there was a real sweet spot. What was it? It was on one of the sort of the Doctor Who, the after shows where they show you how they made everything with the Doctor Who, like a little extra bits. And who was it was saying that they thought that Stephen Moffat basically went home and like planned all of the ways that you could scare children. Like that's what he did in his free time. And like they said, one of the cast said that, or somebody said that. It was really funny. And I was like, there was a point in the sort of 2000s, maybe even early 2000s, when Stephen Moffat and like the Mark Gatiss kind of combo was really good. And like, but when I think when Stephen Moffat is allowed to be released a little bit more and write the things that he does have some moments of absolute sensational TV, and Blink was one of them. I'm pretty sure he wrote Blink.
I think he did.
Yeah, but it was 12 out of 10 on the fear factor, and also the fact that it could appear at any time.
Just to cycle a wee bit with Mark Gatiss being mentioned. What's your thoughts on Inside Number 9? Because obviously he did League of Gentlemen with
I watched League of Gentlemen. Yeah, watched League of Gentlemen.
Sardines,
Sardines, and that I remember. Oh, now this can really go somewhere. And I feel like I don't know why I dropped off it. This will be an ongoing theme, folks. By the way, you'll notice that sometimes I get distracted, and then go watch something else. Guilty as charged. Unless it's very, very captivating, or it's like something that I love, and so I watch it incessantly. Yeah, I remember the Sardines episode and thinking, well, yeah, that kind of messed with me a little bit. But no, I like his. I think sometimes they get it really right, and then sometimes they get way too involved with themselves. I mean, I have to say, Sherlock loved, followed through, like, and then going to, and that was a shame because I started like, and then ended like that. So,
I think Andrew Scott's Moriarty was sort of the peak of the show.
Sublime
for me, but
absolutely
like
sublime.
Okay.
It was. I'm not sure what the Hound of the Baskervilles was trying to achieve. I was getting really confused after that. There was still some good episodes in season 2, but it was like third season. What is going on there? That's not even a hot mess anymore. That's just a mess. But yeah, no. There are times during their combo where it's really paid off, and League of Gentlemen. Some episodes of that which are just the most horrifying things I have ever. Different kind of horror, guys.
Very much so.
It's like when he accidentally puts the wrong dog down. That literally, I actually don't think I ever recovered. And that's the easy stuff. I mean, that's the real. That's like must be first season stuff. It gets way weirder than that. Way weirder than that.
That sits alongside. You'll know the episode I'm meaning in Peep Show.
Oh.
With the dog.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that sits alongside that. We're digressing a lot.
I was going to say, maybe this is a different kind of scary though. It's that kind of social scary, the horror of just like, which you know I think can only be achieved by some certain writers at their peak moments, and they really sold that home. It was deeply uncomfortable for us all. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, shall we wrap this up? We've run well over. We're aiming for an hour. We're now 1 hour 20.
Just having a lovely time. It's just what is it? A local show. A local show for local
people. Yes.
A local show for local. We don't have no trouble here.
Tagline. We'll have no trouble.
But have we all covered our? Have we all covered
our
bases?
I think we've covered it and then some. I think.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. So I just want to say, go on.
If you want, I will happily talk about Twin Peaks for about the next 3 days.
Okay.
I see. Absolutely. But an excellent choice. Choice, Graeme. Fantastic.
Right.
But I think that I will say thank you so much for all of these wonderful recommendations. Yep. I hope that there are other audience members who are the me out there who are who are just soaking all of these recommendations up.
Also in the comments, everyone, please comment that you want to see this reaction video, Rhiannon watching the
Yes.
Oh yeah, I feel like this is coming now. I think this is happening.
It'll be interesting to see what the demand is when this goes out just before Halloween.
Just be like, yeah, that's it. I'll commit to it.
Oh,
we'll watch The Mist at some point in the next month. October, spooky season.
Could that be a feature of the live show for Ocon?
How's that?
Could I get it done by next week? Oh no, because we won't have posted this by then. Yeah, it's too early. That's a shame. That is a shame.
Next year.
That was a good thought, though. Next year you'll have to pick something scary, and I'll do an annual live reaction to something I haven't seen. There you go.
Yes, we'll recommend something awful, something that's going to shock you.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks, guys. I will sleep peacefully.
And on that note, as this is, we hope you don't sleep peacefully because this is Halloween and the time for nightmares. So I hope you've all enjoyed. I hope you got some good recommendations. And like, follow, subscribe, give us a review, helps us out in the algorithms and all that. And yep, we'll all see you very soon on the next show.
Or shall we say?
And the next show we're recording is Buffy Part 2. So the Heb Scoops are back.
Yeah, so this is the bit where this time I'm not sat there going, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. This I'm like, I have seen it all. Give more. Give more.
All right.
And I remember every single thing.
Yep. All right. So bye, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.